Hi. Still have no internet. And the soonest they can come out here, that's something that I didn't know about. Like, I've never lived out in a rural area before. I didn't know how hard getting electricity and getting, like, how many extra steps electricity and water and fucking everything was gonna be. Like, there are only, you have to hunt and hunt and hunt for somebody who will actually provide service out here. It sucks. But, I moved in, and I think I've touched on this a few times. I don't, like, whenever I look up driving phobia and how to get over your driving phobia and stuff, because I used to research it a lot before I actually did it, I see a lot of people who absolutely straight up refuse to drive all over the internet, but I've never seen somebody with, like my driving phobia was intense. And I just wanted to make a video about it because, like, I feel like there has to be more people like me that have actually gotten over their fears. And I'm not over it. It's like, I can't tell you this is the trick to do it. Like, anyone sitting there and they're like, oh my god, I'm scared. How do you stop me from being scared? And I can't. You can't. I have had, I've had, like, blackouts. I was driving in a storm. I think I brought this up in another video. I was driving in a storm, and it was like 4 o'clock in the morning because I was working at, like, this sweatshop place. Like, straight up. It was, they made little crystals for fertilizer. And, on the way there, I drove so it would be like an hour early because I was scared of the drive. Like, I think there are a lot of different things with the driving phobia. Like, I'm scared of being exposed to and of being around all the people on the road. I'm scared of judgment. I'm scared of getting lost is my main one. I'm terrified that something is going to happen that I won't know and I won't be prepared for. What I try to do is, like, if I figure out that I have to be somewhere like a week or two in advance, and I try to call up somebody and be like, help me, like, can you drive in the passenger seat with me and help me get used to this drive, because I don't like to be surprised. I don't like to be on my own and not knowing what to do. And honestly, memorizing every single thing that you fucking have to do on the road, and that sounds overwhelming, and it sounds like a lot, because it is. And, you just have to fucking suck it up. Like, that's the only way to get the fuck over it. It's do or die. Like, for me, it was swim or die. I have a kid. I live in fucking Texas. But now, I live right alongside the interstate. In my last video, you saw that big fucking interstate. I live right on that, and I have to go over it every single time I want to fucking go anywhere. But I mean, now I only drive like once a week, and it's like my going to town day. But it was intense. It was the day before I had to go pick up my daughter for the first time today. It was like a nonstop panic attack until, like, I walked up to the edge of the road where I had to cross, and I was like, I do that, and then I do that, and then I'm there. And then I do that, and then I do that, and I'm there. And I did that over and over and over and over again. And I don't know if I was making it worse or if it helped. But then, like, I went and did it. It's like walking around it. If you've ever gotten on a plane by yourself and you were scared you wouldn't know what to do, like, there are signs everywhere. There's, like, you're not going in completely blindsided. I literally, like, the only way that you could really get me in a car, and the only way that you could get over it and drive was, like, I just told myself, okay, I can't see my daughter unless I suck it up. And that was the only thing that pushed me to do it. I never wanted to get behind a wheel of a car. I never, like, ever since I was little, I was like, I have to do that. And I've always, like, whenever I was little, I would fucking get lost in a McDonald's ball pit. Like, I have no sense of direction. And even, like, today, like, I still freak out. I'm still, like I said, last year, I was doing really great with driving, and I was driving all over the place. And then, I drove in that storm in the dark, and I had a blackout. Like, it's the only time I've ever had a panic attack so bad that I actually blacked out, and it was like that. It was like for a fraction of a second, but I veered off into a pit in the road. And it was so dark, I couldn't find where to get back on the road. I couldn't find, like, it was a teeny tiny little country road that I had to go down. And, I was really more terrified of, like, deer and shit than, I was of other cars because, like, nobody was out there. The drive to this town isn't half as bad as that one. It's like I can get here and to the town I need to go to with a fucking GPS. The first time I did it, I was like planning out what was going to happen if I crashed. I was like planning out what could possibly go wrong and what would happen if I crashed or did that or what have you, you know? But, and I'm scared to make this video because, like, the thing for me that makes it so fucking hard is I'm scared to think positive thoughts. I'm scared to think it's gonna be okay because I'm scared that my heart will be too broken and that I will be too fucked up if it's not okay. Does that make any sense? Like, I'm scared that something horrific will happen if I think that everything is going to be fine. And I make myself, like, always think the most negative, plausible thing because I'm scared that it will jinx it. And I'm not a superstitious person. It's weird. I'm not superstitious at all. I think that it's bullshit. I think tarot cards are bullshit. I think astrology is bullshit. I think Myers and Briggs personality and body language videos, I think that's all fucking bullshit. I think that everything is like, things like that are just people trying to make sense of the world around them. And they're trying to, like, assert some kind of, like, form of identity or some kind of control or, you know, it's just like, I don't really get blindsided about it. But whenever some shit's really going down, or if, like, my heart is, like, has more hope than I have sense, then, like, I will fucking obsess with, like, online tarot draws or some stupid shit like that. And I know it's stupid. I know it's all fucked up. I know it's bullshit. But, like, every time I'm like, is that little cokehead DJ ever gonna text me back? And it's like, no. Every time. Like, like, it's the only question I ever ask it. And it always tells me no. I don't know if, like, my phone can, like, hear me. And it's, like, some kind of, like, maybe machines have humor now. I don't know how far we're progressing. It's fine if we don't put red lights in them. AI is fine if we don't put red lights in them. And, driving. I was talking about driving. I went way off, but, like, I'm not like I was saying, I'm not superstitious, but, like, my anxiety will just create something that I'll believe, even though logically I know it isn't true. And that's kind of something you have to at least remind yourself of. I think that that's kind of how I got over the hurdle. Like, I just started telling myself, like, look, all these people go off and make that turn all day long, and I've lived here for like a week and I haven't seen one crash where that thing was. And then, like, this, like, old lady who was dumb as fuck came into like, because I had to go down to the diner when I didn't have any electricity, and I literally bought a meal just to charge my phone. And like, I was like, okay, well, she can handle that interstate. If that frail, little, old, senile lady can go up and down that interstate, so the fuck can I. And, no offense to, like, little, senile, old ladies, but, like, for real. I guess, like, people that, like, lived out here their whole lives, they just kind of fucking get used to it. Because it's very peaceful out here. It's worth it. It was worth learning how to drive, and I'm glad that I made myself do it. If you need that independence, if you lack it just because your fear is holding you back, just suck it up. Just, like, there are so many people on the road right now, and they are no more or less, like, look at all the stupid fucking drivers that are, like, God, this fucking one girl I know, she will, like, goddamn go over a median. And she is, like, the worst driver, but she has, like, so much confidence out on the road. Like, and there are so many people out there that are stupid. And, no one's really going to hit your overly cautious ass as long... Because I'm like, fucking get on this shoulder and pass me and do something illegal, you know? Like, fuck it. I used to be so worried about looking fucking stupid on the road because, like, so many people, like, get, like, bad drivers get so much shit, and I'm not a good driver. But, I can get myself from point A and point B to point B, and if driving isn't one of my strong suits, that's one of my big things. Like, if I'm not good at something, then I don't want to do it. I don't want anything to do with something that I'm not good at. And that's just something that I had to suck the fuck up. And this, honestly, my driving phobia, just because of where I live, just because it's so impossible to be independent in this part of Texas without driving, that, like, I can't stand to be dependent on people. I can't stand it. And I've tried so many times to, like, it took me, I was 30 before I was really zipping around like nothing. There would be, like, certain stores that I could get to, like, from the time I was, like, 18 to 20 or something, there would be, like, 5 or 6 places I could make myself go to if I fucking had to. But, now, it's like, now how I get myself to do bigger and bolder things, like the way that I got myself onto that intersection, was I was like, okay, well, this isn't that different from that street. And I was fucking terrified to go do this drive. I was terrified to do that drive. I was terrified to do whatever, and it was fine. I learned how to do it, and I did it like nothing. Whenever I worked at the pawn shop, the drive to the pawn shop and back to my home, it sucked. It was scary. But now, whenever I go into town, I pass the pawn shop. Like, one of the first things that I pass going into town is that pawn shop. So I'm like, I know where I am and I know how to get here and I can do this drive real easy. And now that I've done the scarier drive, that little drive that I was so scared of is nothing. I used to be more scared because I grew up in such a I grew up in a tiny little town. It's tinier. Well, the town I live in now has like a population of 500 people. This is the smallest town I've ever lived in. But the town that I grew up in only had 3,000 people. And it had so many country, like, what I learned to drive on was a country road. And I don't know, like, every single therapist I've ever been to, because I was like, fuck everything else, I need to fix this driving shit. Like, they try to go into, like, all my other anxieties or whatever. I'm like, just fix the driving. Like, if we fix the driving, I feel like I'd fix a shit ton of stuff. And it's never worked. Therapy has never helped me. Like, I just had to fucking do it. I just had to do it. And, like, if you're sitting there and you're like, how do I drive? How do I drive? You just have to. If you want to, you just fucking have to. It's easier if you, like, walk to places, like, walk around your new whatever until you get, like, a feel, or ride a bike until you get, like, a feel of it. And like, driving a little compact car, oh my god, whenever I was dating that fucking millionaire dude, he had this big ass truck. It was like this giant fucking diesel monster. It was like the dumbest fucking tiny dick mobile. And it was very hard to maneuver. It was very hard to get around in it. It was very, I was terrified driving that thing. But after like a week, I was like, okay, like, I got your keys. Let's get your drunk ass home before you go to jail again, because I don't like to drive up to the jail. And, yeah. So just fucking do it. Just be in a situation where you fucking have to do it. Like, it has to be do or die. Or you could just, like, fucking suck it up and make yourself. Like, if I can do it, look, I mean, seriously, truth. Like, if I can do it, anybody can start driving. For real. Like, if anybody can start driving, if I can get over this shit. I don't know if I had anything else to talk about. Like, yeah, I just wanted to make a driving video just because, like, it was probably, like, the food shit and my driving shit. Like, those were the two things that were, like, absolutely devastating my life and crippling me. Okay, bye.